Hey my friends, it's your friend Kevin here with today's Divine Daily Blast and the Energy Signature Tarot reading for this week coming up. So let's get started. This might be longer than what you're expecting. Now, interesting. The moon today, we'll start there, is in Pisces and it's going to climb through Aries, Taurus and wind up in Gemini by the end of the week. Now, Moon being in Pisces today, as we move through the waning cycle, it's a good day to tap into your spiritual side under the numinous Pisces moon. Get zen and release what you need to. Getting zen is just being in that space of nothing ventured, nothing gained, going with the flow, just being at peace with everything. We're in an angel numerology number 22 day today, which does reduce to a 4, but 11, 22, 33 are all master numbers. And the 22 is referred to as the master builder because it represents the ability to turn grand visions into spiritual dreams, that they then become tangible realities. And the core symbolic meanings behind Master Builder is that this primary title for 22 possesses the discipline, focus and practical skills to build something lasting, something that benefits humanity. Works with manifestation, life areas of relationships, twin flames, career, success, spiritual growth. So what do you do when you see 22? Define your goals. Be clear about what you want to achieve. The energy of 22 supports large scale ambitions. Trust in your intuition. Take action. Move past your dreaming phase and start building the foundation for your plans. Practice diplomacy, cooperation, and try to resolve any conflicts in your personal and professional life. Moving on. Here are my isms for today. I'm a story in motion. What story am I telling? I'm on a journey of love and fearlessness. And I attract success with ease because I believe in my limitless potential. This comes from Joe Dispenza, a wonderful personal growth life coach, if you will, spiritual type guru. Message from Archangel Uriel for today. I can guide you to find blessings through adversity and turn disappointments into victory and transform your life. So we have Uriel, beautiful golden archangel of epiphanies, wild dreams, ideas. And the affirmation reads, I can be whoever I wish to be. I invite blessings of transformation into my life. This is what you tell yourself. This is what you begin to believe in. Now, this week we have a new divine master that's showing up in the form of Hilarion. Now, divine emergence is at hand, and his message is to be seen and let the world know who you are, let the world know your gifts. And a little bit about Hilarion is also known as Hilarion the Great or Saint Hilarion. He's known as a master healer, hence the green elements of this particular card. He was born to pagan parents in the country of Syria around the 4th century. His studies were mainly in Alexandria, Egypt. And he converted to Christianity at some point. It said from the moment that he converted to Christianity, he dedicated his life to spiritual pursuits. And when he was a mid-teen, he heard about the miracles of St. Anthony. So Hilarion took off, went to a desert hermitage for 2 months, a bit like a monastery in the middle of the desert. And his craving was for personal space, but the hermitage was really, truly busy. So he decided to go back home Alexandria. But after his parents had passed away, he gave up all of his worldly possessions and retreated to a cave inside the wilderness. So this week, the profound message is to tell all of you, light workers, light warriors, come out of hiding, be seen. Use the energy you've taken to retreat and recharge. This has been highly beneficial for your mental and emotional well-being, but now it's time to re-emerge. Basically saying, don't get too comfy with your comfort zone. Let the world know your gifts, let the world know who you are, let the world know what you're about. Along with the Divine Master of Hilarion, we have the Archangel Metatron. He's basically saying you have a divine calling. Your angelic activation message is, I am ready to fulfill the call of my soul. This, my friends, is the time in our life where the planets rearrange themselves so that you can be seen, heard, and it is a nod from all your non-physical energies, friends, spirit guides, guardian angels, those who you know are there, but you may not have seen in the physical form, but you know they're there. They're speaking to you, they're calling to you through these messages. Here's Louise Hay's daily affirmation. Today I let go and have fun. Period. Here we have a little, basically a toy pig. At first when I saw this fabulous image, I thought it was like, what is that, a bunny rabbit, a cat? No, it is a, what do they call it, a pygmy pig? Little tiny one. Now, interesting that our tarot card, I did pull 7 for this week, and I'll get into that reading in a few minutes. But the tarot card for this week, or for today rather, sorry, is the 5 of Wands. And we see in one hand up here, this is from Ciro Marchetti's Mystic Palette deck. The hand is holding on to the rhythm. No, down here, the hand is holding on to the rhythm that's binding these wands together. But yet up here, we see the axe. And the other hand, just letting them fall. Let them fall where they go. So the 5 right there really talks about physical, actionable, fiery changes that are on the horizon. In the tarot deck, it's one of conflict, competition, creative friction. It represents a chaotic situation, or, I think more appropriately for today, a proving ground. This is where multiple people, could be groups, news people, political people, clashing, vying for attention, or struggling to get coordinated. It signals that necessary growing pains before you can truly achieve a new direction. Now remember, my friends, this is for today. Here we have the Oracle of Fairies. And the fairies, I think, I like to bring all the elements, numerology, astrology, fairy, there's our card, temptation. So the fairy of temptation, when you're coming up against conflict, when you're coming up against the time to be seen and heard, when Metatron is urging you to recruit you, be where you are and have the energetic fortitude to stand in your own power, the temptation here is really to hide, go back to your comfort zone. So the message really from our fairies is saying, are you in denial about the unhealthy habits you've adopted? Maybe there's one of them that makes you feel guilty, shameful. Give that up. The fairy says you have the power to overcome temptation, whatever its guise. So you kind of get a flow, come out of hiding, follow your given pathway, let go of the struggle, let go of the imposter syndrome, be a story in motion, decide to tell whatever story you want to tell, but make sure you're direct about it. Now I'm going to be right back, just like that, with the 7 cards for this week and a reading, plus letting you know where all these planets are going for the month of July. So stay tuned, my friends. Hey, my friends, I'm back again with this week's spread. Now, before I get going into the cards, what they mean for this coming week, this signature energy tarot deck, moonology, numerology is bringing everything together. All of these divine tools that actually help to build a visual tapestry of the energy that we can expect to come up this week. And it really is super interesting. Not scary, but interesting. So I wrote some notes. I got a whole page of them yesterday. The 3 main keywords for this week, maybe you want to get a piece of paper and a pen and write them down. Clarity, courage, and transformation. Clarity, what does the tarot cards offer in far as the actual 7-day reading? Courage, what people need to take away from these meaningful changes. And I'll get into the surprising reading that came up. Transformation is the common thread between your work life, your personal life, living your life, your spiritual habits, your passions and beliefs, what you stand for, your boundaries. All of that could be up for transformation. So before diving into the cards for this week, I want to get into the overview of July. And the reason why I say that is because there's some key dates that follow the moon's phases, then key dates that are involving the planetary transits. Now, let me just be clear. I'm not an astrologer. Maybe I'm a backyard astrologer. Like many of you, I probably turned to the newspaper section where they did the horoscope. For many years, I thought that my sun sign, it being Scorpio, was the be-all and end-all of the signs. So I'd read Scorpio. But then I discovered my ascendant, which is also known as my star sign, and this happens to be in Leo, that was actually more prevalent than the Scorpio. So I looked at like the inner personal natal belief really does track Scorpio, but the outward personality is definitely Leo. So let's see the overview for July, including some of the dates of actual astrological movements that are involved in this. Here's the cycle of the moon for the month. On July 7th, we're in the last quarter moon, which is in Aries. July 14th, 1 week later, we've got a new moon in the sign of Cancer. On July 21st, last quarter moon happens to be in the sign of Libra. July 29th, the full moon happens in Aquarius. I believe it's the second full moon of the month, another one where there's 2 full moons in it. Now, the 6 major, the 6 major and rare planetary aspects that are affecting the overall energetic vibrations are July 15th, Uranus sextiles Neptune. And the last time this happened was in 1968. On July 18th, Uranus trines Pluto. And the last time that happened was 1922. You're getting a pattern. July 20th, we've got Jupiter trine with Neptune. The last occurrence was 2018. July 20th, Jupiter is opposite Pluto. The last occurrence of that was 2014. You can probably track back 2018, 2014 to see the bumps in the road. July 21st, Jupiter is sextile Uranus. Last occurrence 2022. That's kind of an easy reference point. July 25th, Neptune sextiles Pluto. The last occurrence of that was 1986. So why do I feel like it's important to tell you all of this and bring you all these dates? Because I'm sure, like me, many of you are like, well, I don't get it. I'm not sure what this is, why this is important. No matter whether you're a novice astrologer, like I would consider myself to be, or you're experienced in the science and technology of astrology, there's no simple way to explain these transit changes. It's doubly difficult to take everything that's about to happen, everything that's going on, and put it together in a narrative that really makes sense. There is so much happening with these astrological changes that it's a bit like riding multiple roller coasters all at the same time. Things are pinging off, popping off, whoosh, bang, wallop in all kinds of directions. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's actually a positive thing. So the subtext of these positive changes are just something for you to bookmark and pay attention to. A little bit like I'm sitting down to a movie, but I'm watching all kinds of different movies playing all at the same time, and I really don't know where to look. Yeah, I sit and chuckle when stuff like this happens because, we all know those people that don't like change, that want to stay in their comfort zone, that are defiant, that are resistant, that are digging their heels in. This is not the time for those folks to be like, putting the boundaries down, digging their heels in. These are the ones that are going to struggle the most with it. You're getting my point where go with the flow. Be willing to go into uncharted waters. Try something new. Take chances. Accept and adapt to things as they unfold without resistance. That's really important. This week starts off with a clash between the Sun and Saturn. That's the light, bright energy pushing into Saturn's desire for organization and rule following. So you get it. The Sun brings this energy and lets us dance around in the light. And Saturn says, oh, hang on a minute. This is what you need to be. Pay attention. Excuse me. Hello. We're not right. No. All is not lost. The last quarter moon on Tuesday will be sun-filled Aries. Now, Aries, first sign of the zodiac. Whoosh, let's go. I ain't got time to waste. I'm not dilly-dallying around. Come on, bring it. Let's see. Venus will move into its home sign of Virgo on Thursday. Venus, love, beauty, peace, femininity, all of that. That's happening on Thursday. We've also got the healing planet of Chiron working together. So any sharp, jagged edges will be softened by the elements of Venus and Chiron. Best to start the week with gratitude for things that are already occurring for you. Gratitude for your friends. I'm grateful for all of you. Gratitude for a job if you have one. Gratitude for the paycheck that keeps coming in. Grateful for the bills that you get to pay, that kind of thing. Grateful for the food, the sunshine, all of those things. It is a good time to watch your negative Nelly mind. Where are you sort of going down that road of, not happy? And see if you can turn it around. All right. Let's turn it down and get into the cards and the readings for the week. Here we go. We just covered what was going on Sunday with this Five of Wands. But really what's truly, truly interesting, we've got the beginning of the week. 3 of the 4 suits have 5s in them. 5, the number of change. 5, the number of altering. 5, the number of new journeys. In all 3 suits. So we move on into Monday. It's a number 5 angel numerology day, and it's a number 5 of swords. What does that mean? Conflict, tension, hostile competition, where the need to win at all costs takes priority over harmony. It often warns us to about hollow victories, betrayal, or damaged relationship. This card is urging you to choose your battles wisely and consider the price of being right. Maybe that's a little too high. You or somebody around you on Monday could be acting out of their ego space. They could be using sneaky tactics to get the upper hand. It signals a bitter environment. Maybe like some nasty office politics, bullying, or aggressive arguments. Be really, really careful how you go when you go to work on Monday. Remember, we just had a holiday if you're in North America, and people may not want to go back to work. You might have some people calling in sick when they're not really sick. That kind of nonsense. I should also say that on Monday, the moon moves into Aries. So there might be people challenging or restricting you. So this all goes along. Moon phases. So watch Monday. Perhaps there are rules that are stopping you from getting what you want. But the message here is don't give up. Harness the energy of the fiery Aries moon for the day. Let's move on into Tuesday. Here we go. 5 of Cups. Well, it's also a number 6 angel numerology day. So evaluate, review, make the changes that you need to succeed. The 5 of Cups is a primary card of grief, loss, and emotional disappointment. It's representative that the experience of crying over spilt milk is indicated that you may be fixated on the past failures or broken expectations. It might be getting you to the point where you overlook the blessings and the opportunities that still remain in your life. The moon on Tuesday is still going through Aries, and we are at the last quarter moon. Now, Neptune on Tuesday is going to go retrograde. So this is inviting some introspection and some spiritual reflection. Under today's last quarter moon, it's the perfect time to look within and be honest about what you need to do to make peace. Peace brings us our own sense of well-being. The message from the tarot is 3 spilled cups. One's there, another one's here, another one's there, up in here. So she's got one out the window, one that's flopped off the windowsill. Well, actually, there's one out here, one here, one here, one here, 5 of them. They're all over the place. The card serves as a warning against wallowing in self-pity. It urges you to feel your grief. But recognize that not everything is lost. Turn your head. See what can still be salvaged. I'd like to think that this is the last of the 5s. So on Tuesday, you may be thinking, I got to turn this around. If I want change, I'm responsible for making that change happen. Let's move on to Wednesday. We've got our King of Cups on Wednesday. The moon has moved into Taurus, and it's a number 7 angel numerology day, talking about focus. Now, for me, number 7 is magical. It's about choices, making the right choice. Can also be a little bit about addiction. It's all right if you're addicted to good, happy things. But with the moon in Taurus, it conjures a wounded healer. It conjures up the wounded healer, Chiron. So on Wednesday, you can use the energy of Chiron to dig deep and try to release that last of whatever past hurts have been going on. What have you been holding on to? Now, the King of Cups represents the emotional mastery, compassion, and balance. So instead of pushing your feelings down and hiding them, this card signifies the ability to understand them, anchor the feelings, navigate intense emotions with grace and wisdom. It's a good point to wisdom, diplomatic counselor, deeply devoted person, a nurturing partner. The King of Cups is a symbol of emotional intelligence. He sits in repose with the eagle staring at the hilt of the sword. Well, actually not the King of Cups, this is the King of Swords. I'm so sorry. The meaning is the same, I'm just looking at a different image. This card's the ultimate symbol of mental intelligence. Moving on to Thursday. This is where it turns around. One of the only major arcana cards for this week. On Thursday, the moon shifts into Taurus. Venus moves into Virgo. The vibes today are less about what others can do for us and more about what we can do for other people. Goes along with the number 8, angel numerology number. This happens to be the card known as the Hierophant, but in this image by Ciro Marchetti, it's showing the Pope. It represents tradition, spiritual wisdom. It represents the established societal structures. Now, it's often depicted as here a religious leader or even a teacher. It's about learning through conventional pathways, adhering to organized belief systems, and seeking guidance from mentors. You could also seek guidance from some religious institutions if you feel compelled. The core meanings of this card is really to follow established rules, traditional values, structured norms. It points to group membership, organized religion, formal education, ceremonial rituals. This card can represent a mentor, a spirit guide, or the concept of doing things by the book. I like to think of this as knowing how the rules are created before we attempt to change them or break them. Moving on to Friday, which is a much better day in the cards. The moon has moved into chit-chatty, communicative Gemini. Communication being the key in relationships, as the romantic planet Venus is connecting to the planetoid Chiron. And with this Gemini moon, it's going to be easier than usual to talk through any upsets, any hurts, any problems. Go out and have a cup of coffee or a glass of wine with a friend and get it all out. The card is also a really lovely card. It's the 6 of Pentacles. The angel numerology number is a number 9. Completion, end of cycles. Time to be philanthropic and helpful. The 6 of Pentacles reminds us that it's truly dynamic to give and take. Charity and balanced exchange of resources. A signification of a time to be financially stable. This is a day where it's either a day where you have the means to share your abundance with other people, or it's a day where other people share their resources and support with you, giving you what you need. This is a giving and receiving generous donational money, whether you're getting it or giving it. Giving and receiving your time, giving or receiving your wisdom. And if you're struggling financially, time, you don't have enough time to do this, that, and the other thing, the card brings relief in the form of assistance. Everything is golden on the material energetic front on Friday. Moving into Saturday, another major arcana. I said this was the only one of the week, but there's another one. It's a 10-1 day, numerology. Exciting new beginnings and divine dreams are afoot. Let's see where the moon is on Saturday. The moon on Saturday happens to be in the sign of Gemini. What does that even mean? Well, As we move deeper into the waning cycle, it's time to take a deeper look into ourselves. Do you have any toxic feelings that need to be released? Are you harboring grudges and problems with other people? Best bet, write them down, meditate on them, and then just whoosh, let them go. The Tower speaks to that. It also really represents sudden radical upheaval. Now, many people, when they have this showing up in a reading, are a little fearful. Because really what it means is the collapse of false structures, toxic cycles, the entrance of unhealthy situations built on unstable foundations. Now, this card arrives right after the devil, also known as the ego card. So that would be card number 15. This is card number 16. What's necessary is to liberate your forces, clear away anything and everything that you need to clear away to give yourself authentic growth. The key words for Saturday are chaos, revelation, sudden change, breakthroughs, awakening, liberation. You get the message. Saturday may bring some unforeseen disruptions. It's most certainly going to put pay to illusions. And it may end up being a rather harsh reality check for you. So, don't go down the rabbit hole of, oh my gosh, this week is going to be a mess. It's certainly going to be different. But look at it like you're on a snowboard and you're going down a hill. You really don't know which way it's going to meander and fold. More importantly, watch your attitude, watch your emotion when it comes to relating with other people. July, many astrologers have said for many months, is going to be a cattywampus, whoopsie-daisy kind of month because of all these changes that are happening. I would say for all of you, a little suggestion, stay grounded, feet on the floor, digging in Mother Nature. I've heard from some of you that are doing your gardening. Even though spring's finished and we're in the summer in the Northern Hemisphere, you can still get out and dig in the dirt. Go play with the animals. They need support too. All right, my friends, let me know in the comments what you think. I love that you are listening. I love that you've stayed to the end of this, and I'm happy to bring this energy to you. Until tomorrow morning when I do the Divine Daily Blast for the day, I love you, I love you, I love you. Bye for now.